Hey quilting friends, it's Carolina Moore from alwaysexpectmore.com, and I'm your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber. We are doing day 6 of the Mini Quilt Advent today. I'm so excited. If you are seeing this video when it goes live, there may still be a couple Advent kits left, so you want to check down below, find that link, and if you don't already have an Advent kit, go ahead and order that. We'll get them out to you right away if they're still in stock. If they're out of stock, I'm sorry. We tried to have as many as we could to hopefully be able to fill all the demand. So if you haven't already gotten yours, make sure you get it ASAP because I know that they're running super low. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today with day 6. If you haven't opened your envelope yet, go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to give you a second. Okay, so hopefully you have your envelope all opened up. And today is this fun little strip. It is a 1" by 3" strip, and we are going to make a rail fence block. So it's going to be 3 of these strips all right next to each other. So if we're doing this with our dark and light fabrics, it's going to look like this. That's our pattern. We'll have dark, light, dark. If you want, you can do a light, dark, light. Same thing, it's just fine. So I'm going to cut 2 of my darks, and this is a directional fabric, up and down. So I'm going to cut it directionally. You can also have your rail fence go this direction. So if you're going to cut your fabrics directionally, you do that as well. You have lots of choices here. Let me grab my rotary cutter. And I'm going to cut 2 at a time because I like being able to go fast if I can. Now I do want to be careful. I have done a little bit of overcut here, and I don't want that to end up in my fabric here. Okay, good. There's a little bit of space. There we go. I have my 2 darks. And now I need my light for in between. Here we go. And I'm going to do this like little stack of presents. Might as well fussy cut. You don't have to. You can use whichever fabric you like. But there we go. Okay. So there are my pieces for just the 2 color version. I'm going to go ahead and do a fussy cut version and have some ideas for that. This is such a fun fabric to fussy cut, and so is this one. So we're going to use these 2. You can use whichever fabrics in your bundles that you like. So look at that. That gingerbread man, he is perfect. And I'm going to just cut that out. There we go. Do I want to do another? You know what? I'm going to do 2 gingerbread men. That looks really cute. I had originally in my head thought that I would do 2 different little motifs, but I'm loving the idea of doing 2 gingerbread men. So I'm going to go ahead and just run with it. There we go. So there's 2 gingerbread men, and now the other. And these trees are obviously directional that way, but a lot of these other prints are not. So I can do these snowflakes, and I'm centering, so I'm looking at the top and bottom and capturing the same part of this little diamond motif, and then I'm looking at my cut line or my sewing lines and making sure that everything fits inside and that's equidistant on all sides. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. There we go. So look at that. I have my 2 color and then my fussy cut. So we're going to go ahead and stitch these together. Let me make sure my iron is on. There we go, let that start heating up. I'm gonna set my template aside and we'll sew these together. Sewing together is really easy, just stitch one onto the other. And since I have both going at the same time, I'm gonna stitch these two and then these two. And then I'll just stitch this one on and that one on. And then it's just time to press. Just gonna go ahead and cut the one off the back here. And I'm going to, I like to lay it out for a second so I know, especially if you things that are directional, that I'm not sewing something to the wrong side or sewing it on upside down. I've done that before. My seam ripper and I are good friends. So there we go. And then I'm going to do the same, and see, if I hadn't laid it out, I might have done this as a mistake. So there we go. Lay that out. Make sure everything's all lined up. And now it's as easy as pressing it. You just want to press towards the dark. In this case, that's out. If you don't really have a dark, just go ahead and press out. Pressing to the dark, pressing out are both really good, like general quilting guidelines. If pressing to the dark and pressing out are the same, then you're perfect. If pressing towards the dark and pressing out are competing with each other, then you make a judgment call. Okay, which one is going to serve this quilt better, pressing out or pressing to the dark? In this case, I'm just doing both. So there we go, one down. This one, I'm going to go ahead and press out as well. The two are about the same. That the yellowish, the little tan yellow is a little bit lighter, but that's okay. There we go. Block 6 is totally done. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Let me know how your Mini Quilt Advent is coming along, if you're working on these blocks, if you're just making the blocks for now, if you're going to make the mini quilts at the end, if you're finishing them as ornaments as we go along. I love to hear all of that. If you are finishing them as ornaments, there is a video that shows you the 2 different ways to finish these as ornaments, and I just used block 1 for the finishing video, so you don't have any spoilers on all the future videos, but you finish them the same way regardless of which block you're doing. So anyway, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. We have a lot of fun here, and I want to make sure that you get to join along. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.